What's going on today, guys? Welcome back to DC Unplugged. Now, you've probably been sitting there maybe thinking or pondering the fact of going maybe off-road tires or going road tires. So in this video, we're basically going to be talking about road tires and off-road tires and comparing the two and helping you come to a decision that is right for you. So we're going to start off with some pros and some cons to both products. So we're going to start with off-road tires because that's what came out factory on this particular scooter we have here, which is the Dragon Hurricane. So this factory came out with the off-road tires. Now these are great tires for you if you are heading into the bush and you're really on this kind of stuff here, some grass, loose gravel, all that sorts of stuff, sand, you name it. Great for actually grabbing and gripping into it and pulling the scooter through those very soft sands and very loose dirt and whatever terrain you're going through, whether that be bark, etc. Great for that, not so great for when you're going on concrete. The reason why that is, and this is the cons. So pros of the dirt tires are they're fantastic for doing off-road things. However, when it comes to coming to just daily driving and going to and from your workplace or to your mate's house via a road, they're not good for that. One, they're noisy. Two, they don't allow you to actually lean over into the corner and instill confidence into corners because they're sitting on these little blocks and that's all you got for grip. Especially when you're putting those kind of tires to something like this with a lot of power, you're going to end up actually losing and probably coming out and sliding out. So not something that you want to come off on, especially at speed. So definitely don't recommend off-road tires for that situation there. Another thing too is to maybe to consider is that they're very loud, vibrate the scooter and carry on. So for some people they might like the noise. That's fantastic for you guys. You may like that and that is fine. One, you can hear you coming with off-road tires and it's probably a plus. However, for some people they don't like the road noise, like myself. I prefer something quiet and smooth, and as well as that is they just don't offer the range as well. They do impact your range when it comes to off-road tires. So when it comes to off-road tires, when you're hearing like full drives go down the highway and you can hear them going wah, 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 down the highway and you can hear them from coming from ages away. The reason for that is that noise is actually friction and the blocks hitting the ground and creating friction, which turns into heat, which wears down your tires faster and also then turns into drag, and then that also impacts your battery life, which in then leads to affecting your range. We're going to move on to road tires. So with road tires, we start off with the good because we just came from the bad with the off-road tires. So the good and the plus straight off the bat, guys, this becomes so much quieter and so much smoother. So that could probably lead into two positives on that one, is the smooth ride and the quietness of it is just amazing. It really transforms the scooter and you can just elegantly go around everyone without startling people or sounding like an idiot flying down the road. So fantastic feeling. It also allows you to actually tip the scooter over on its side a little more, easier to handle, increases your handling, as well as just being able to tip it in. The reason being is because they have a curvature shaped, much like a bowl, so you can actually lean it over, whether it's square or your off-road tires are more often like a square shape like that, and they don't really offer any cornering capability. They try and keep you upright and they fight you and make you try and pull back straight. So if you do feel that on your scooter, that is probably because of the off-road tires and maybe something to consider changing into some road tires. I know I've done quite a few road tire conversions on a couple of off-road scooters and they felt fantastic. Now, from my own personal experience with this as well, I am going to drag on with the road tires a little bit more because this is just my personal preference and what I have experienced with a couple of mates as well. So the road tires are great for grip as well. You've got a lot bigger footprint on the surface of the concrete, and to be fair, I've actually taken this scooter off-road quite a fair bit. I didn't really feel a difference between off-road and road tires when it came to off-road and on-road tires. So you're not really losing too much. The only time that I've ever felt that there's been a loss of grip when it comes to road tires is actually on dewy grass. So don't really ride on grass too much. So it was always a plus for me when it came to road tyres. As well as that, road tyres also help with your range. So this is probably something I'd love to actually test one day if I have the time and the patience. But they do actually help with your range and your top speed as well, because they're not creating friction. So, and while they're riding along there, it's a lot more smoother, it's a lot easier for the scooter to be pushed along. So sand onto concrete, like if you're near a beach, definitely something to consider, because if you, it actually doesn't really matter actually saying that. I've actually felt the same thing when I was on my off-road scooter. So probably try and keep, doesn't matter what tire you go for, sand and concrete, you're just going to wash out. So probably just keep away from that. And if you do see it, maybe slow down and take it easy around those corners. But yeah, definitely not going to help you when you go through sand. They just kind of bog down and sink. So probably something to consider there too. I have gone road tyres on this Hurricane and it feels absolutely amazing, especially with the little suspension mod that I've had to do, which if you want to know about that, you'll just go into my profile and you'll be in there just below this video. So in conjunction with the suspension and the tyres, this scooter feels incredible now to ride, and I thoroughly actually really enjoy riding this scooter, so much so that I've come out here today into a little spot where you have to kind of go off-road and get to here, and made a video about it because I didn't think about it at the time. I was like, damn, I haven't put up a video about comparing tyres and helping you guys out. So there is another set of tyres out there though that are the best, a little bit of like 50-50 of each. So, and they're the all-terrain tyres. They actually are fitted to the Cyclone Pro, Dragon Cyclone Pro standard. The all-terrain tyres on that are a mixture of both road and off-road. I find them, they still make a little bit of noise, but nowhere near as noisy as the full off-road tyres. They feel really, really good, and they still feel nice around corners. However, I wouldn't push them to the extent of a road tyre, but they are dramatically better than full off-road tyres. So I'll definitely get photos of all three of those tyres to compare them, so then you can see for yourselves over here. But yeah, if you want a happy medium of 50-50 of both, definitely the all-terrain is probably the best one for you. Road tyres, if you're after something that doesn't really impact you, you can still go off-road, definitely something to consider. Road tyres being a lot smoother and help you with range. And if you're absolutely love going out bush and sand and dirt and all that sort of stuff, definitely consider going off-road tyres, because that is going to help you dramatically when it comes to the loose stuff. Now, keeping in mind, not all terrain tyres can be fitted to every scooter. There is a limitation in sizing and stuff like that, and that's if you can get hold of them. But for me, if you do a bit of searching, you will be able to find them, and they are pretty easily obtainable from even your local e-scooter shops. So definitely consider shopping around a bit. Now, the plus that we'll put towards the all-terrain and the off-road is something that I did forget to mention, is actually that they are a lot less likely to get punctured because they're on blocks that raise the tire off the ground that little bit more, and they're quite thick, chunky bits of rubber. You can actually stop getting punctures, whereas the road tires are more prone to punctures because they're basically flat on the surface all the time. So glass and nails are very prominent getting punctures in these. However, I'm usually pretty cautious of where I ride. However, there is the luck of the draw of me just going over a nail or a bit of glass, and then it's game over for me. But if you are something that you want a little bit more protection, definitely all-terrain. But if you want the best protection when it comes to punctures and stuff like that, definitely look into the off-road tyres, because they just have those big chunks and they raise it off the ground a little bit. Now, this is going to be a little bit all over the place for you guys, and I understand it hasn't really boiled things down for you guys, but it will give you a bit of insight into maybe thinking about what you're going to do for your scooter, and some pros and cons that I've personally, and if not personally, I have actually seen and witnessed through a couple of friends of mine. So another one is probably not fitting off-road tyres to high performance scooters like this, or the Nami Bernie 2 Max. Definitely not something you want to do, because they just don't grip up and they just spin wheels, and they are just not something you really want to have no traction on, considering how quick and how violently accelerating those particular scooters are. Would definitely recommend, even like the likes of like V-Set and stuff like that, the high performance category of Wolf and all those sorts of scooters, I definitely wouldn't recommend actually having off-road tyres on those, because it will not turn out too well for you, especially if you're hitting the corners pretty hard. So Hopefully that has helped you and helped you narrow down maybe your tyre decision in the future. And if this has helped you out, guys, please definitely, if I've missed something even, leave us a comment down there, give us a like, maybe think about subscribing up the top there. And by all means, guys, please wear a helmet. Don't put it on your bars because the bars don't need protection. Your head needs protection. So without that, we'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much all for watching and subscribing. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
It's okay to hurt your voice coming in my face. I know you gotta bark when you don't got bite. Tell me, what's that like? What's that